Get myself a real line again. Hello, hello.
Live.
We're live again with another video, Section 300. Appreciate you guys for tuning back in. We just had a video that you may have just watched talking about just our first reactions to everything that's going on these last couple of weeks. And thank you guys for watching that. Thank you guys for all the support you've been showing to us. Thank you for any feedback you guys have left us. Continue to like, rate, review, subscribe to our show. Follow us as you see below at Section.300 on IG, Section 300 Pod on Twitter. Follow me at JustAG on everywhere. Follow Alec at Alec Foster online as well. And we're back in another video. We want to talk about the NFL's reaction to all the things that have been going on recently. There's been a lot of talk from that league just about how they're feeling about all that's going on, and a lot of, in my opinion, pandering, trying to appease folks right now. So first things first, we had Drew BREES, who came out about a week ago after all things took place, and had an interview with Yahoo, I believe. Where he said that I forgot exactly how the question was based, but he immediately brought up that I can't respect anyone that disrespects the flag. I'm for the flag my grandfather fought for in World War II. All this stuff, and it just felt it still feels like just mad disrespectful, bro. Like I don't get how he can say that after all the NFL's been through recently, being involved in people brainstorming how the NFL is 70% black. You have a black locker room predominantly. Yep. And then also, I mean, even bigger than all that, you're in New Orleans. Like you're in a black ass city. Like I don't know how you're there for 15 years and still have this kind of disconnect. So he's been getting killed online for it. That's probably not the right word to use this time, but I just rolled out. Pardon me. But he's been getting canceled online, all that kind of stuff right now. And it has been a good sight. He's been trying to backtrack and all of that, but it's been a whole mess. So before we go on to other reactions that followed it, what are your thoughts on Drew BREES and his take on everything right now?
Yeah, I think when I first saw like the SportsCenter headline or whatever, Drew BREES says he can't respect anyone who disrespects the flag. I think I said it to you, and I was like, I was a fan of this dude, but fuck this nigga. Like, are you serious? Like, I don't understand how Cap's been kneeling since 2016. So even just from that 4-year period, I don't understand how you could still be blind to what the protest was actually about. Like, you had to be specifically avoiding Cap's message to miss it, because he was very vocal that he was protesting about police brutality. Yeah, what you got to say?
It's been a lot. There are a lot of Drew BREES out there right now still, in the regards of they don't listen. They see things
and deflect.
And even when we tell you to your face a billion times, we are kneeling for this reason. Black Lives Matter represents this. Wherever we say we're trying to represent, they flip it into, oh no, you're actually going against the flag, and you're disrespecting my grandfather who fought in the war, and oh no, Black Lives Matter does not represent this. It goes against it's attacking me and all lives matter instead, and yada yada yada. They make it into they try to make themselves the victim in it when we're not attacking them at all. We're trying more to shine light on a much bigger picture. So Drew BREES and others just for a long time have been just ignorant to have been, I don't know if that's not the right word, honestly, just beyond that, just beyond ignorant. I can't think the right word, pardon my lack of vocabulary, but we are just telling you right to your face what we're fighting for and fighting against. And you're still
just ignoring the message.
You're ignoring the message and taking the opposite way. So yeah, I don't. At the same way you said you're done with them. I don't really have any sympathy for them either. Excuse me, because it's like you have too many people around you that have probably told you. We have too many examples that have been right in your face to show you what we're really about, and you continue to see it another way. And it's just like at some point you're like, you know what? Like you said, fuck this nigga, man. Like we tried, and you ain't listening. So I'm done with you. So,
and like you mentioned too, like him bringing up his grandfather, like that's just deflecting from what the actual issue is. And two, there were plenty of black grandfathers that fought alongside your grandfathers.
I fought too. Like what you trying to say? Like
and they came back home and couldn't vote. Like they didn't have the same rights as your grandfathers when they came back home fighting for our country. So like it's not about you. Like this whole situation is about shining a light, like as you said, on Black lives and the plight of Black people for these past 400 years in America. And for you to like willingly ignore that, it doesn't really sit right with me. Like as you said,
it don't sit right. As we've seen people that same day the quote came out, they were already protesting about for George Floyd and everybody. They heard the news and were in the streets. F Drew Brees, F Drew
right?
Brees.
Yeah, in the protest. Yeah,
the city he worked so hard to establish himself in, and a place where he considers himself a leader in. His people have turned on him because he wanted to be ignorant to the things that people that he was trying to lead have been experiencing. So yeah, this is on him, and he's followed it up with a whole lot of apologies, and he tried to make an apology post where he had the stock black white hand
the black and white hand together.
Black Lives Matter, and I get it now, and all this, and he tweeted at Trump and was like, Trump, you need to what you're doing. I forgot exactly what he said, but he's been doing a whole lot of trying to prove that he's trying to be on our side, and it's like I don't think I would like to believe people can change that fast. But I really don't think that's the case. I also think with it being how long it's been, with him having that thought, the only reason he's changing so fast right now is because we're all canceling him. It's because we're all
the backlash was quick.
Turned on because he lost half his locker room and all of that. So now he has to try to do whatever he has to do to win us back. Is it truly in his heart? I'm not the one that's to say, but from what I see, I think this is more of trying to just win back public favor than genuinely flipping a switch, because I don't know how after all this time it took all this for you to flip a switch that fast. Like I think it takes a lot more
and the heel turn was super quick too. I think, I agree with you. Like we can't really, it's hard to judge a person's heart. Like you don't necessarily know, but I would need to see like the continued change and continued action for like Black lives and speaking out against racism and kneeling in protest, as a lot of NFL players have agreed they're gonna kneel.
I was about to ask you. It has turned, and people now are like, "Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna kneel this year. 4 years too late. Oh yeah, I'm gonna kneel now. I'm definitely in support now. And I get it now. And now I definitely want to support it and show that I'm with it. I'm gonna kneel."
Yeah. And that's Black guys too saying that.
Yeah, what race? I said people just in general. Everybody's turning moving sides now. If Drew Brees kneels this year, is that him trying to win us back more, or do you think he is truly alongside us?
Like we said, it's hard to judge somebody's heart, but I think it's important to, like you said, I think in the last video, to be on the right side of history as well too. And that means being in solidarity with your brothers, the people who you hurt, and they've supposedly said they forgive him, like guys in his locker room. So I think it's important for him to kneel, but it's impossible to know.
I'm sorry.
It's impossible to know why he's kneeling.
Can I say this real quick too about the guy responding quickly about his apology? Michael Thomas needs his touches. Kamara needs the ball. So if they feel like
but Drew Brees needs them too, because he can't just be throwing to Taysom Hill all day.
But as the guy that touches the ball first and is the leader of the team still, you want to make sure all you guys are on the same page. So guys may step out and be like, hey, I got to support him just so I make sure we're on the same page and there's no grievances, so we don't mess up any chemistry on the field. There could be a whole lot of that going on as well. I'm nervous about that. Michael Thomas, who was someone who was quick to make a reaction to it and now immediately flip sides in his support. He was against Drew Brees in a way. He threw a little subtweets out, and then Drew Brees called him or something like that, and he's like, oh yeah, me and Drew are good now. We talked it out. He was quick to turn back around. So I don't know. But yeah, just knowing, there's a lot more going on than just, oh, he apologized, cool. Like there's definitely like, hey, make sure we're on the same side. So we're cool. Once I need to run on the playing field. Excuse me. So there's that. Going back to the kneeling and things and the public stances, I think the last thing you said was there's been a lot of pandering, and we've seen that from the NFL in general. I think from the players, guys who have some support to like Kaepernick from the beginning, guys who were in support of the movement from the beginning, the Odells, people of the world. I think when they were in that recent video that the players put together, that they actually put together, I think it was without the NFL knowing from what I saw from outside the lines report, I believe. The NFL, Michael Thomas and guys got together, made that video just on their own, with the help of some guy that was a part of NFL media operations or whatever, DM'd them and made it happen, and then they got it done. So them doing that, I definitely appreciate. On the flip side, with Goodell and all those guys who were the ones that were control and the ones that were blackballing Kaepernick, the ones who were telling everybody not to knee, or the ones, the Jerry Jones of the world who kneeled, but it had to be a team kneel, and the kneel represented this instead of that, and yada, yada, yada. All these other guys are flipping sides now. It's more just to appease us than I think it is to actually show change. I mentioned to you as well with that player video, I think a lot of Goodell had an immediate reaction. He ran to his basement, had his own Black Lives Matter, we're to be supporting all of that. He has his own video as well. The way it seems, and what people are saying that are a lot more close to the situation than I am, he did that largely because Mahomes was in the video. And when you have your star player, you have top
MVP, face of the league,
MVP in the video saying Black Lives Matter. If you're against him, it can ruffle a lot of feathers. So Goodell and the NFL had to switch sides or wake up, or however you want to describe it, because their stars were making the same stance as well. Because of that, I'm still not. While I appreciate the video still, because Goodell saying Black Lives Matter, even if it is 4 years too late, him saying and staring at the camera with a serious face, as serious can be, and proclaiming that is powerful. If the actions beyond it don't match, still,
right.
He's still not going to be in good graces. So we will see how they follow this up. We talked last year about the Jay-Z and Goodell and all that stuff going on. All we really got from that, people said wait a year and we'll see what they get. I know Jay-Z has done things on his own. He's reached out to Minneapolis, I think, to police department. So he had some kind of statement he put out, I believe. He was doing his own activism on his own because Jay-Z, that's what he's done throughout his career. But in this thing with the NFL that we criticized, we got the Meghan Trainor, concert at the start of the year. We had some shirts. I think they donated some stuff. But besides that, it's like I can't remember what else they did to really have some activism within that league. So I guess the players are taking the reins from here and really trying to make that change. So yeah, we'll see what the NFL and those top guys, those owners and coaches and all those guys, how they respond to all of this, and we'll see what happens going forward. So
yeah, I mean, I wish players took a stand earlier. I mean, some were with Cap, but if an overwhelming number of them had spoken out like they did in this video where Mahomes was a part of it as well too, maybe we would have gotten a heel turn from the NFL earlier. I mean, because it seems like that's what really made the impact, is seeing his face of the league voice his opinion on the matter. So I know it's hard to speak out. It takes guts. I mean, you may be jeopardizing your personal brand, your MAGA fans who are fans of you, who support you as well too. But if you truly believe in something, like, there's power in numbers, so it makes sense to just take a stand.
Yeah. I wish guys weren't scared. I know that's kind of a bold statement, and if guys get offended, come on in here and talk about it. I don't care. I'm definitely open to the conversation. Yeah. But when Kaepernick took that knee, as you mentioned, a lot of guys were like, "Oh, I see him, and I support you, but I'm gonna kind of just stay over here just in case. I don't want to get blackballed too. I got to keep my kids, I got a family to feed and all of that." And now it's like, oh yeah, the whole world supports Kaepernick now, and everybody's rooting for him back. When he could have stayed of other guys, there was enough support next to him, as you mentioned. So, we're definitely gonna see how this next season goes. I mentioned about the kneeling. Adrian Peterson said, "I'm gonna be kneeling all year long," or something like that. Or he's definitely kneeling. Guys come out there kneeling and all that. Guys are out protesting right now, which is great to see. But when money comes into play, when you're on the grand stage and all eyes are on you, are you going to have that same stance? That's what I want to see next. So, definitely looking forward to what's to come with the NFL. It still seems to be on track in regards to the league. They're still trying to make sure that they get their league going on time, in opposition of other leagues. NBA is coming back soon. We'll talk about that later on. Yeah. The NFL is still going. And once they return, we're going to see if guys are still sticking to their word and are really about that action now. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to it all. And you have anything else you want to talk about with this situation?
NFL wise, I don't think so. I think we covered it.
That's all. Yeah, I don't have anything else either. So yeah, definitely excited for what's going with the NFL. I'm definitely going to continue watching how guys continue to react. Continue watching how those top guys I mentioned, the owners and others, try to make change. Oh, real quick, what do you think about owners that are like, how do I put it? Like they're donating and things, and they made a quick statement, but it's kind of uncertain if their actions are matching that. I've seen a few. I think this is kind of more of a broad view, but like Jordan put out like 100 million. That's not NFL, but just in general. Right. I've seen big sponsors come out with, oh, here's 100 million. Here's 10 million here, $1 million here. Guys, people putting money out as it seems that's what they want to happen. But if there's no action behind it, like what is your take on just all the donations right now? Got people putting out money.
I think it's always great to get a large donation to an organization that's for strengthening education, equity, social justice, that kind of thing. Like I think that's great. I think Jordan's donation was great. But yeah, I mean, got to put your mouth where your money is, I guess you could say. Put the actual action into play, which is something we've been talking about, not just talking about it, but being about it as well too. That's important, but the money is significant as well too.
I mentioned Jordan. Going back to more towards the NFL, you had guys like Dak Prescott who came out with a great statement. He put out a little 4-page Instagram post about his support and his stance on everything and Black Lives Matter, and he donated $1 million, I believe, to somewhere also. Dak is a part of America's team. I mentioned Jerry Jones earlier and how they had the whole kneeling thing last year, whenever all that went down. If Jerry Jones is like, okay, we'll donate money as well, but y'all can't kneel, I think that's more of what I'm trying to allude to. Yeah. Like you're sending out money to show that you're supporting it, but you're not really putting action beyond that. Like it's more of a pandering or an appeasement, just to say, oh yeah, we did it, but at the same time, we're not letting you do this either. So that's more of what I'm scared of. I couldn't work.
No, I mean, it's time out for the fake patriotism. Like fuck your American flag. I don't really like. We're not kneeling to disrespect soldiers who fought for the country. It's to bring attention to police brutality in America. So
exactly,
like that whole argument is deflecting and not what the peaceful protest is about. People got all on cap for peacefully protesting, and now they're mad that people are rioting in the streets. And so which protest do you want? You're going to continue to nitpick
right answer.
What you're doing.
No right answer. We've shown right answers plenty of times, and they still say otherwise. So we keep doing our own thing, and then as we've seen now, they'll adjust and they'll wake up one way or another. So yeah, definitely looking forward to all of that. Definitely keep my eyes on this whole situation, and I'm very excited for what's to come. So yeah, that's all we have today. Definitely going to talk more about the music side of things, the NBA side. NBA is coming back, as I mentioned, and things. Definitely a whole lot of other stuff around the situation that there is to talk about. So, again, appreciate you guys for watching. Like, rate, review, subscribe to the show. Follow us individuals. Our ads are there as well. And, yeah, we'll see you guys again very soon. Appreciate you watching. Peace.
Deuces.